This is the bit of motorcycling on the North Coast 500 they don't show you about on the videos. Pouring down with rain. Waiting for my jet boil to boil indoors because it's too wet to do it outside. I'm going to try and pack this thing in a minute. Put this away, it's going to be soaking wet. It's still nice. So one of the highlights that me and Sticky had been looking forward to the most about the entire North Coast 500 experience was going to be riding the famous Blokes Pass, a single track road running in between Strathcarron and Applecross. The Blokes Pass is quite famous for being the highest paved road in the UK. It's all single track and it's got quite a reputation for being challenging for motorbikes, even when it's in good weather conditions. But unfortunately, the weather conditions weren't very good today. In fact, they were bloody awful. Visibility was quite poor, even on ground level. The rain was pretty much torrential, so it was with a real heavy heart we decided we'd give it a miss. For once in our lives, sense took over and we thought we would do it another day. So with the Blokes Pass tantalisingly close to us, we knew we had made the right decision. The next stop for us was 125 miles away, Ullapool. So as we continued our drive to Ullapool, the weather was a bit hit and miss. One minute it was nice and sunny, the next minute it was a bit cloudy and rainy. But one thing that didn't change was the views. They were still stunning. We seemed to be pulling in every 5 minutes just to look at different things. We were back on our bikes again though soon enough, back on the road. We were still heading towards Ullapool, which was now only a tantalisingly 30 or 40 miles away. We'd now actually picked up the official North Coast 500 route. And the views, just like they had been all of the trip so far, were still absolutely stunning. As we got closer and closer to Ullapool, the weather got better and better, and finally the clouds dispersed completely, and for the first time today we were actually bathed in nice sunshine. So although we had travelled nearly 1,000 miles by now, we'd actually only just picked up the official North Coast 500 route. We'd actually only been on the North Coast 500 for about 100 miles. Finally, we got into Ullapool, and Ullapool seemed quite a popular little place. It had a very touristy vibe to it. But we had chosen to camp again. We were going to the Broomfield holiday campsite. The campsite doesn't take reservations, so we made sure we got there well before it closed. The booking in was very easy and the staff were very helpful. Although it was a lovely end to the day, we were surprised just how busy it was here. After all, it was still only May. We pitched up our tents in double quick time. We had a pint in that pub just behind us, and of course we couldn't say no to a fish and chip supper in Ullapool. Ullapool was a terrific location to spend our last couple of days in Scotland. The campsite was a little bit more commercial than the one on Skye, but still great. There was an Indian restaurant, a bakery right next to the campsite, so we didn't exactly go hungry whilst we were there. Now though, we were driving to John O'Groats, a 4-hour ride, and we were looking for somewhere to get some breakfast. We stumbled across this little gem, the Ben Braggy Inn in
John
Golspie.
O'Groats is 56 miles away.
56 miles? Oh, I've got down as 76 on my sat nav, so hopefully alright.
Still says an hour 42 minutes.
Yeah.
How can it take that long?
We were just saying,
Yeah?
there's not many Scottish voices up here.
A lot of English up here.
Yeah, well, I think he actually, believe it or not, the chef is kind of, I think he lived in England for a great chunk of his time. So he's, yeah, no, I'm afraid. I mean,
The Ben Braggy was great, and we promised them that we would give them a mention. When we left Golspie, the weather could change from sunny to foggy and finally to drizzly in the blink of an eyelid. But now we were nearly at the end of our journey. John O'Groats, right ahead. We had finally arrived in John O'Groats, more than 1,200 miles after starting our journey. I think there's a law somewhere where you have to have your picture taken next to this sign. We had driven over 1,200 miles to get to this point, and we had another 1,200 miles plus to get back home to look forward to. Would I do this trip again? In a heartbeat, yes. The weather had been great, the views are amazing, and I couldn't have had a better riding companion than my old mate Sticky.